Paul, the best way to bounce back from an 8-0 loss is to come 2-0 today.
Yeah, it was obviously with Tuesday being off. I felt we were ready for Tuesday with what was being spoken about in the group, and the disappointment from obviously that trouncing last week. It just felt like there was an attitude, a mindset that was whoever we were going to play was we were going to be up for it, which you should be for every game. But I think the way we've come back and bounced back has been really good today, and I'm obviously delighted with the win.
It obviously shows the character in the players as well.
Yeah, it was one of them. I said on Tuesday night at training, I said that I genuinely didn't know how to react in the dressing room last weekend, because I'd never witnessed anything like it as a player, as a manager. I'm not saying I've been beat comfortably and convincingly as both, but that manner was just, I felt like I'd been hit on the head on Saturday night. Not only the performance, but the embarrassment that goes with that type of scoreline. I'd never want to be associated with anything like that ever again. You can lose games and you can be well beaten, but the way in which that came about last week was off the scale. But like I say, the way the lads have, obviously we've trained on Tuesday instead of playing. They trained really well. They trained well on Thursday. We were able to get some stuff in which I felt we went away from last week, which was partly the reason, of the defeat. But I think you're seeing today that there was a determination. I thought first 15, it was like we were a little bit tentative. I just said it out there. We like a boxer who'd been flattened in his last fight and came out and just stayed behind the jab. But then once we grew into it a little bit and ball retention was better in the final third, I thought we grew into the game and we posed them more threats. Both fullbacks got higher and we were enabling ourselves to deliver balls into the box, and we caused them problems. I think Mark flashed one across the goal, and then you get a bit of fortune, don't you, with Doyley's free kick. It seemed to take forever to go over the line, but it obviously went over the line, and I felt at that point we were on top. They're a fancied team. They're in a good position in the league.
They were fifth before today.
Yeah, and I spoke to a lot of managers, obviously on the back of coming into the division in the summer. I spoke to a lot of managers across the summer who said they fancied them this season, and I feel, we've been more than worth the win today in both halves.
Then you're leading 1-0, and you hit the post twice.
Yeah, I think we hit the post 3 times.
Well, twice in the 60-second spell.
Yeah. But and that's when you put it to bed, and then straight from that we weathered a 10-15 minute period where they're loading it up and they're flashing things in, and it can go anywhere. But I thought the two centre halves held strong. I thought Jay and Vels,
outstanding.
Yeah, I thought Jay Harris and Josh Veller in the middle were, energy and nous about them, and to be fair, Niall's always a threat. He done really well in the first half, and he's picked a pocket of the defender on the line. He's had a shot, but he's screwed the shot and it's gone out by us, and but he's always a threat, and his finish was an unbelievable finish to put the game to bed. Yeah.
And you move on, and a big game on Tuesday night here, FC United, which will be interesting, but you go into it obviously with confidence sky high.
Yeah, I think we said it a couple of times here. This is where we need to make it the most difficult place to come to in the division. People may laugh and people may look at last week, but we've got to continue with the way we've been playing at home, and when we do go away, we've got to try and flip it on its head in terms of the form. But like you say, FC have been flying. Bees has got managers of the month. He's a good mate of mine. We go back a long time, and I'm sure he'll be wanting to put one over on us. But he'll know that we'll be wanting to do the same, and I'm sure if we commit to it the way we have done today, they'll be in for a tough game. But we know it'll be tough as well. So we've just got to recover well, make sure we're right, and make sure we're ready to go again and get another 3 points Tuesday.
Do you relish big games like that?
Yeah, because I think it brings the best out of us, I'll be honest, and that's not trying to... We've got some players who've played in big games, and you know, it seems like they rub their hands together when it comes, and Tuesday nights here, we always look forward to them, you know, ever since I was here, you know, years ago, and we've always enjoyed the Tuesday nights at home, and you know, hopefully we'll enjoy another one.
Cards, obviously you've known, like I say, you've known Beast for a long time. It'll be strange being opposite him, fighting against him on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it will. You know, we speak 3, 4, 5 times a week. We used to speak 2 or 3 times a day, you know, when we worked together, and but you know, I'm glad to see him doing well. When I left to go to Telford, and Toby said to me, what should we do? And I said, well, you don't need to move anything about. It's, you know, the team's in a good place, the squad's in a good place, and you've got a good person who knows it all, knows the club, knows the runnings of it to hand the baton on to, and you know, he done great. He done brilliant, and he's done that with FC. You know, got them out of bother last year, and you know, he's added a few good players. He's got a good balanced squad there, good experience. Obviously, Lafon's a top draw player for them. You know, and he's got them organised, and they've been winning games. And obviously, we won Manager of the Month for last month as well. So you know, it's credit where it's due. We go back since, I think I met Bees when I was about 21. He was 19 or something. I was 20. He was 18. Whatever it was when he came from Preston. And we both had Chester, and we've been nearly close since. And it's good to see him doing well with FC. But come Tuesday, I hope he has a beast.
Yeah, it's his first game back, and I guess he'll get a good reception because, you know, ultimately he led the club to the highest finish it's ever had.
Yeah, of course, and he should get that, because you know, it wasn't just about his time, you know, as a manager and doing that. It was the work he'd done with me, you know, in the 5 years before he got the chance to, you know, to take the reins, if you like. So he should get a good reception for his contribution to the club, and I'm sure he will.
Just going back to today's game, we thought Chris Doyle got a nick on Jack Doyle's free kick. I don't know whether we're going to have to debate that on the video after. Jack Doyle shouted up to me to insist that it was his goal. You might have had a better angle than us, but certainly up here we thought Chris Doyle got a touch on it. I
just seen it deflect. I didn't know whether it came off the wall and then hit someone else, but I didn't know who it hit. I was just concentrating on it going over the line more than anything. But you know, neither of them on a goal bonus, so it doesn't matter to me. So.
And although Matty Waters didn't score the second goal, are you taking credit for a bit of a super sub there? Because Matty Waters comes on, it shifts Niall into the centre, and straight away latches on to Liam's goal kick and scores. Yeah,
it was a great finish, to be fair, for Niall. You know, like you say, he's always a threat, but you watch that back and you go, I think he's cut across the ball and he's put it past the keeper, but it's on the up as he's hit it as well. And you know, it was a great finish, and he can be clinical. He had one in the first half where he's gone through one-on-one, and you'd expect him to finish, but you know, he wasn't making any mistakes with the second opportunity, and you know, he put it away with great technique and quality.